This Mac app has done over $5,000 in sales. I still use it every single day, and after years of nothing, downloads kind of just picked up. This year, my timer app wasn't going to run on the next Mac OS, and I had 8 years of deprecated code that I really never wanted to touch. So I gave the project to Codex, and it unblocked me in 30 minutes. I want to show you what has happened and the lift that I've been able to achieve on App Store Connect. Here you can see that sales really flatlined and just didn't go anywhere. And now I have a brand new version that's getting downloads. It's now supported on Mac. It's getting more visibility. I shipped Super Easy Timer in 2018 and it worked. Then I stopped updating it because of life, and it wasn't making that much money, but it was been on this downhill trend. And this year I didn't want it to go away, so I updated it and I got inspired by Codex to make some new changes. 8 years of deprecated code, old dependencies, and APIs that didn't exist anymore. It was going to take weeks to update, and the app wasn't making enough money for me to justify working on it, so I just kept putting it off. And then I got this review. I still give it 5 stars, but I really wish the floating window could be made smaller. I like to keep it floating always on top while working most of the time, but it's big enough that it gets in the way pretty often. And so that got me thinking about how can I make this smaller? And this has been something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. I just haven't had the energy. So I gave the project to Codex, and the deprecated code that had blocked me for years, it cleared that within 30 minutes. And the cleanup that I had been avoiding, that had been blocking all of the stuff that I wanted to do to the app since 2018, was done. Suddenly, a redesign was possible. Hey, I'm Paul Solt. If you want to learn more about making apps with Codex, hit the subscribe button. First time that Codex worked on the UI, it broke things that already worked. This was a little bit frustrating. Keyboard shortcuts didn't always work. Menu items didn't always work. Buttons just didn't respond. And so it was a bit of a nightmare, but I was able to work through these issues and fix them. So this one issue that I want to talk about really irritates me. I shipped 2 versions of the app recently with broken features, and it was the same exact bug each time, but I think it manifested in different ways. And I've fixed this twice now, which tells me that I need a better process. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. Agents were really good at fixing the deprecated code that I have, and they were able to modernize the app and get everything that I needed to work. The problem is I've got different features across the app, and this one doesn't work. I can't click these buttons. Neither button works. So what's going on here? Well, I have an animation. If I use the keyboard shortcut to start this, you'll see that there's like a slight color shift. And that color shift is a layer that is inserted in the UI. And for whatever reason, anytime the AI is working here, it's very easy for it to insert it into the wrong layer and basically break all interactions with the app. And so that's why these 2 buttons do not work. I do have buttons that work in the menu bar, and I have buttons over here. And so there's a lot of surface areas. There's keyboard shortcuts, there's menu options, there's menu bar options, and then there's buttons in the app itself. And you've got to make sure that your AI agents test all of those features, or you run the risk of code not working. Once the tests actually worked, I went after the design. I gave Codex constraints, and over a series of days, I iterated on some new layouts, and it was really, really exciting because I finally had the design that I wanted, that was minimalist, that still allowed text input, that still made it super easy to change the timer, hence Super Easy Timer. So a feature that I really wanted to work on was being able to have the timer app over a full screen app. And that required a new design, and I didn't want to just maintain the old design. I wanted to reimagine it because the old one had a lot of old things like storyboard files and XIB files that I didn't want to be tied to anymore. I wanted to have a clean design that was not going to show any controls, which was a big complaint that I got. Here is the new version of Super Easy Timer. I'm really excited about this. This is a long time coming. It feels really simple, but there's so many nuances in how you interact with it, how it feels, that it feels way more magical. And I've fixed so many issues that my customers have had over the years that I'm really excited to sort of show off this. So this is the new design. It's super compact, and it's got this new input dialog that appears below it. So you can hit start and that will start the timer, and you can reset it. You can make it full screen. It takes over instantly. Clicking anywhere here allows you to exit full screen. One of my new favorite features is the ability to be on top of Keynote or PowerPoint presentations and still be able to input text without causing the presentation to stop. Now, this was a deal breaker for many people, and I finally fixed it with the new redesign. So let's check it out. If I'm in Keynote, you can see the timer. It stays on top of everything if you have it pinned. And if I press C to grab the cursor, I can even move this around. I can start the timer, and I can move it to a corner. If I need to step back to my slides, I click back onto Keynote and I can go to the next slide. And let's say I want to break, I can get the mouse back, click on super easy timer and type 5, start a 5-minute timer. If I want to do a break and take over the screen, we can make this full screen. And now you have a countdown that everyone in the audience can see. So super useful, especially when you're either rehearsing or you're doing something live and you need to see the time remaining on the screen. Now, this is the tiny mode that I've been trying to build for years. It's big when time matters, when you're in a presentation, but it's small when work matters and you want it to get out of the way, yet stay always visible on the screen. It can be on top of a full screen app. It can be on top of a Keynote or a PowerPoint presentation. It can be in your status bar on top of the dock. It can be anywhere you want it to be. There's still some rough edges with multi-monitor setup, some presentation modes, things that I haven't tested in every workflow. Apple just approved my app on TestFlight. It took over 4 days. There's so many apps being submitted to the App Store. Now what I need is your help. If you use timers while coding, recording, or presenting, I want you to break this. Tell me what works, what doesn't work, and help me make this the app that I should have shipped many years ago. The link is down below in the description, so you can get access to it either on TestFlight or on the Mac App Store. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to get more videos like this.